Hey everyone, I wanted to take a moment to address something important that's come up. This morning I found out that the exact same glider that I had crashed on was flown again for testing and review. But here's the thing. The pilot that flew it didn't know its history beforehand, and while it performed flawlessly during testing, as I totally expected it would, I believe that it's important to talk about why transparency matters in situations like this. For those of you who might be newer to my channel, earlier this year, I experienced a life-changing crash while flying a powered paraglider. And it was an intense moment that changed my life and my family's lives forever. And since then, I've been open about my recovery and the lessons that I've learned, and I've made it clear from the very start that my crash was my own fault. It was pilot error, not the glider. Still, that glider has carried a certain stigma ever since, and understandably so. But I want to be very clear. I know the person who sent the glider for testing, and I believe that their intentions were good. They wanted an unbiased review of a glider that had been repaired and passed inspections. And they've always been so kind to me. And this isn't about pointing fingers or assigning blame. It's about having an honest conversation about the values that we hold as a community: trust, respect, and transparency. I'll be honest, it is emotional for me to see this glider being flown again. For me, the wing represents one of the hardest days of my life, but I know that that's not just for me. Many others in the paramotoring community would have a similar emotional response to flying a glider with this kind of history. It's not just about safety. It's about the weight of what that glider symbolizes. Respecting those emotions is a big part of what keeps our community strong and connected. This is where transparency becomes so important. It's not just about technical details or safety inspections. It's about trust. And pilots deserve to know the history of the equipment that they're flying so that they can make informed decisions. And whether or not somebody chooses to fly a glider with a history like this should be entirely up to them. And that decision starts with having the right information. I've seen a lot of comments about this topic, and I understand that there are different perspectives. Some people are totally fine with flying a repaired and inspected glider, while others feel it carries a negative connotation or emotional weight. And both views are totally valid. And I think that the key is giving people the transparency that they need to make the choice for themselves. If there's one thing that I've learned from this experience, it's the importance of clear and honest communication. Whether it's about the history of a wing or the conditions of a flight or the faults of a pilot or even our own skills and limitations, communication builds trust. It keeps us safe and it strengthens our community. Once again, I really want to emphasize that this isn't about pointing fingers. It's about taking these moments and turning them into opportunities to do better. If you have found value in this conversation, please consider subscribing to my channel. I share videos about my recovery, about piloting, and the lessons that I've learned along the way. And you can also sign up as a free member on my Patreon, where I write weekly blogs. It's a really great way to stay connected, and I would love to have you there. The link is in the description below. At the end of the day, this sport is about way more than just flying. It's about the relationships that we build and the lessons that we learned and ways that we can support each other. And I'm grateful for each and every one of you for the support, your comments, and the connection that we share as a community. Let's keep working together to make this sport safe and meaningful and full of respect. Thank you very much for listening. And as always, fly safe, stay humble, and I'll see y'all in the next one.